Do you guys think that the NFC West can provide two teams into playoffs this year? I don't know. Maybe take a look at where you think my standings are and how they compare, and then we can talk later after this episode. However, starting from the bottom up in this division, because it is your Top Cheddar NFL Thursdays, at the very bottom I have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I don't think it'll be anywhere near as bad of a year for them as it was last year, and Kyler Murray may be a better fit for the team than Josh Rosen was, but it won't be enough to boost this team out of last place in the division. They're just too far back. I think the offense will click better. Hopefully, David Johnson can stay healthy, but they really need Christian Kirk or someone to really step up into a number one wide receiver role, because who knows how many years Larry Fitzgerald has left. It's already impressive that he's doing what he is right now at his age. So, as long as the offense can start chiming a little better, and the defense has a lot of holes, but mainly they can look to fill them probably after this season, then the Cardinals can start their rebuild process. But they will still be worse in the division for the upcoming year and not in playoffs by any means. Third in the division, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Somehow, year in and year out, the Seahawks find themselves to be in playoff contention, at least down the home stretch, but I don't think it will happen this year. Russell Wilson can only carry this team for so long, as lately it's looking like in certain games they only have 10 men out there as opposed to their notable 12. This defense is not what they used to be. They haven't been for a while now, and although Russ is amazing and finds ways to make miracles happen for this team, the offense just has too many holes that they need to figure out and really plug them around him. And I see this team going just below 500 this year, but not making playoffs. Second in the division is the main team that, in my opinion, I want to highlight in this episode. And that is the San Francisco 49ers. Now, there was a lot of hype after the season ended 2 years ago now, around the San Francisco 49ers once they got Jimmy Garoppolo, how good they could be, how they started making a couple different signings, and they were looking to make a run and be as good as they were, essentially for the first time since they had Navarro Bowman in that impressive defense of theirs. But I think, and obviously with Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, it kind of got delayed a year. This is the year that I see them really stepping up. They now have a lot of tough decisions to make at running back, because with all the people who stepped up last year, once McKinnon was out, there's just so much potential there that they may have one of the best running back by committees, as long as all these guys can keep it up. But we will see who actually takes the lead role, who fits into maybe more of a receiving back on more third downs and longer play situations, and even if somebody will step into more of a first and goal type of situation where it's just kind of pounded in at that point in time. However, with Jimmy G leading the charge and Greg Kittle being his go-to guy, this team is going to swoop into second in the division, right around 500. I think they have potential to go maybe a game or two at the very most over. I don't think it will be that much more. The defense still needs to make sure they're going to keep Jimmy G in the game and that offense, but I don't think it'll be enough for them to make it into playoffs this year, regardless of making second in the division. Which leaves, first and foremost, the Los Angeles Rams. After falling short in the Super Bowl, I see this team coming back with a vengeance. They have issues to figure out, apparently with Todd Gurley. I really don't know what happened to him, as I don't believe most people do, towards the end of the year last year. And I really hope that gets figured out for his sake and the team's sake. But I see him, as long as he's healthy, being perfectly fine and exactly what he was prior to the final weeks of the season and into playoffs. They were in the Super Bowl last year, not as a fluke, but because they were true contenders. I don't see much changing going into this year. Expect them to be one of the best teams in the NFC, as a whole again, winning the NFC West, winning record, playoffs, most likely a bye in the first round, the whole deal, and potentially making a run at getting back to the Super Bowl, and for their sake, maybe a different outcome this year. Thank you so much for tuning in to Top Cheddar Sports. Own the Beer League Bench Talk. This was the fifth of our NFL divisions as we work towards the start of the season. Make sure you like, comment, smash that subscribe button. We want to know what you guys think as far as where you see certain teams falling, or if you see somebody other than the Rams winning the division. I know a lot of people may not agree with the Seahawks as third, and especially with a losing record. So we want to hear your guys' thoughts about all this. Tune in next week as we go into the AFC West and the outline of where we think that will fall for next year. Thanks, guys.